Hi, it's Katrina. Number 10. Dinosaurs and pyramids. Hold on to your hats because we have a new theory about the pyramids. A team of archaeologists from the University of Cairo have allegedly discovered proof that the ancient Egyptians lived alongside dinosaurs. The evidence comes in the form of an ancient papyrus and some stone pallets from 3500 BC. The papyrus was allegedly written by individuals who had participated in the construction of the Pyramid of Khufu, the biggest pyramid of Giza. In this document from thousands of years ago, the builders described beastly creatures of preposterous size. Archaeologist Nabir ibn al-Samud says the beasts mentioned in the text were most likely dinosaurs. Then there are the 26 stone pallets covered in hieroglyphic writing and carved with images of mysterious monsters. These stone artifacts were allegedly discovered in a cave just outside Cairo. The cave had been a sort of storage depot about 4,600 years ago. The stone carvings show people building the pyramids using the help of massive beasts, which can be seen with leashes around their necks. It's a pretty big stretch to think ancient Egyptians tamed dinosaurs that had gone extinct many millions of years earlier. Still, there are plenty of conspiracy theorists who believe images like these are evidence of great prehistoric behemoths assisting the Egyptians. The dinosaurs, which some say were brontosaurus, like dinosaurs with the long necks, helped move the giant stones they needed to build their greatest monuments. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Number 9. The Odessa Catacomb Labyrinth. The twisting and turning catacomb labyrinth underneath Odessa in Ukraine has some dark and mysterious secrets. Odessa is one of the most beautiful destinations in all of Ukraine, known to Europeans as the Pearl of the Black Sea, but it's underneath the city where things get really interesting. The Odessa Catacomb Labyrinth is accessible through an unassuming garage on the side of a road. Within the garage is a gateway that leads down into one of the biggest urban labyrinths anywhere in the world. It's over 2,000 kilometers of tunnels reaching depths of about 60 meters. It's a vast underground city with at least 1,000 entrances spread throughout Odessa. It makes the catacombs of Rome and Paris look small in comparison. The labyrinth is spread over 3 levels, and not all of it is connected. There are caves, abandoned mining quarries, creepy tunnels, and forgotten World War II bunkers. It's believed construction began around the time Odessa was founded in the 18th century. The catacombs are so confusing to explore that not every last nook and cranny has been documented. It is a literal underground maze where bodies have been found, underground lakes, and strange writings on the walls that look like they may have been put there by some secret cult. Number 8. Humans from outer space. There is a theory going around that humans actually came from outer space. There are some scientists out there, and plenty of people too, who really do believe humans didn't evolve on this planet. Instead, humanity was brought here from somewhere else, dropped off like an unwanted baby. While this may sound a bit crazy, or a lot crazy, there are some interesting facts that more or less make the theory somewhat believable. For example, scientists already know that humans are made up of space dust. Stars way out in the universe that go supernova and explode shoot the building blocks of life across vast distances. These supernovas create pretty much all the elements on the periodic table, including the ones that make up our bodies. We are literally made from elements birthed during the explosion of a supernova. Another crazy theory that recently made itself into the mainstream is one that says life originated on Mars. A certain mineral was found in Martian meteorites, which scientists say could have been the missing ingredient that led to human life. According to American ecologist Dr. Ellis Silver, we didn't evolve here. We arrived totally separately from everything else. Part of his theory is based on our own human physiology. Dr. Silver says that even though we are well adapted to life on Earth, we aren't perfect. We are the only species that requires clothing so that we don't freeze in the winter. We can't stand out in the sun like other animals or we'll burn. Plus, we're plagued by chronic illnesses unlike any other living animal. Then there's the fact that human babies have heads so big that women have a tough time giving birth, which proved frequently fatal to the mother, child, or both in earlier eras. This is something most animals don't have to deal with and feels like a wrong step in the evolutionary path. Then there are the extra 223 genes not found in any species, which scientists are still totally baffled by. Number 7. Bodies in the Great Wall. The Great Wall of China dates back about 2,300 years. It stretches an astounding 13,000 miles long, even if some parts are broken or totally destroyed, and that makes it the longest monument in the world. It should come as no surprise, the Great Wall of China also comes with some major conspiracy theories. You've most likely heard before that the Great Wall of China can be seen from space, but apparently that's a lie. It was in 1932 that Robert Ripley, the guy behind Believe It or Not, said the Great Wall would probably be the only man-made structure visible from the moon. His wild guess turned into an urban myth, which many people believe is a fact to this day. But the truth is that the Great Wall can't be seen from space at all. Perhaps the most ghoulish conspiracy surrounding the Great Wall is that it's filled with bodies. This great Chinese monument wasn't exactly built by a bunch of volunteer masons and bricklayers, but by people forced into labor. An estimated 1 million people were forced to build the wall, and there are rumors that say when a worker died, their corpse was thrown into the wall. That would mean there are hundreds of thousands of skeletons hiding underneath the stone, though nobody has found any evidence that this is true. Number 6. Dark matter killed the dinosaurs. Scientists are now saying dark matter may have been what doomed the dinosaurs. Unseen forces in space could actually be behind some of the biggest extinction events in history and could contribute to catastrophes in the future. 66 million years ago, mainstream scientists agree that a space rock the size of a mountain hit our planet and killed the dinos. As for the other 4 main mass extinction events, these have been attributed to things like volcanic eruptions and underwater methane leaks. But now, scientists think our solar system might be traveling through a thin disk of dark matter every so often that triggers bombardments from comets. These bombardments are behind the mass extinctions every 26 million years, give or take a few million. And it's not just one great big comet, it's a lot of them. The biggest issue is that scientists don't really understand dark matter. This invisible substance supposedly flows through everything and acts as the cosmic scaffolding that keeps our universe from collapsing. Dark matter is only detectable by observing the force of its gravitational pull on other things. Scientists think there could be some kind of giant cloud of this stuff at the edge of the Milky Way, and it shakes comets out of their orbit and sends them rocketing toward Earth when it passes. This wipes out most of life on the planet every 26 to 30 million years, like clockwork. Do you think it's possible that dark matter killed the dinosaurs? Let me know in the comments below. Number 5. King Xerxes whipped the sea. Xerxes, king of Persia, had the biggest army the world had ever seen in the year 480 BC. He had an estimated 300,000 troops who were ready to descend on Greece and roll over them like a tide of death. Xerxes thought he had anticipated everything, even building bridges and roads to help get his army to Athens quicker so it could be crushed. But before he could do that, history says his bridges were destroyed by a sudden storm when the sea rose up and washed them away. It was devastating and was one of the things that led to Xerxes ultimately being defeated. 2,400 and some odd years later, there is still a bizarre myth about what Xerxes did that day when he found his bridges destroyed. It's less of a conspiracy and more of an unbelievable piece of history that really did happen. Xerxes was so angry at the sea for impeding his progress that he marched out to the shore and gave it 300 lashes. The great Xerxes of Persia literally whipped the water with a chain 300 times for betraying him, while his legions of soldiers watched from a short distance and cursed the sea and its treachery. Number 4. Ukrainian Black Pyramid. The mysterious Black Pyramid of Ukraine is supposedly the oldest in the world. There are some people out there who believe the Russians actually started war with Ukraine just to get their hands on this monument. There are pretty much no official reports about it, so nothing has been confirmed by mainstream scientists. But the unofficial reports say that an expert by the name of Vitaly Go discovered the Black Pyramid buried underground. It stands about 150 feet tall and almost double that in length. There are no pictures of the pyramid, and scientists are supposedly having some unknown difficulty getting close enough to study it. This is major conspiracy theory stuff, with people reporting nearly 40 similar pyramids buried throughout Crimea. We don't know what they could have been used for, or why they are so important, but supposedly they are there. To make things even stranger, in 2006, archaeologists did officially find a pyramid structure older than those in Egypt. According to a report from The Guardian, It dates back to the early Bronze Age and was built by a group of sun-worshipping humans. It was the very first pyramid of its kind to be found in Europe, but weirdly enough, after it was first discovered, there was pretty much no more mention of it, as if archaeologists were told to ignore it and leave the site alone. Number 3. The Labyrinth of Amenemhat III. The Labyrinth of Amenemhat III is a mysterious labyrinth, an urban legend, and a conspiracy theory of its own. The labyrinth is said to have been one of the greatest engineering achievements in all of ancient Egypt, and yet its function and even existence is still disputed by historians. Ancient Egyptian records say the maze was built during the 12th dynasty by Pharaoh Amenemhat III in the Fayum oasis. The ancient city of Fayum, originally called Shedit in Egyptian, is said to be the oldest out of all the cities in Egypt, dating back to around 2686 BC. It was here where extensive irrigation networks were built, huge agricultural projects to channel the power of the Nile, and so the city of Fayum was built, and underneath it a temple in the form of a mysterious labyrinth. The labyrinth was dedicated to the crocodile-headed god Sobek. Depending on who you ask, the labyrinth either truly existed or is just a fairy tale. The issue is that there are many different references to it in ancient Egyptian scripts, but little in the way of physical evidence. Historians of the day described a massive underground maze of rooms and chambers, anywhere between 1,500 and 3,000. There were actual crocodiles kept in the maze, which the priests believed to be the incarnation of their god. There have been ruins discovered in the Fayum oasis that appear to be that of a buried temple labyrinth. The issue is that the ruins are scant and poorly studied. It's almost as if archaeologists are staying away from it. Nobody knows how big this mysterious underground temple complex was, if it did have 3,000 rooms and was an immense labyrinth, or what. It's just lacking the study needed to definitively give answers one way or the other. Number 2. Labyrinth at Chartres Cathedral. The labyrinth at Chartres Cathedral in France is one of the most recognizable in the world. It's not a huge labyrinth complex or an underground catacomb of twisting corridors, but a simple pattern set into the floor stones of the famous cathedral. This labyrinth, even if it is only two-dimensional, is shrouded in myth and mystery. Some believe the pattern on the floor is meant to be a representation of each pilgrim's spiritual quest as they travel to the Holy Land, and in fact, there are other similar labyrinth patterns all throughout Europe, most of them dated to around the 12th century. The labyrinth at Chartres is only about 42 feet in diameter and was supposedly once decorated with the image of a minotaur at its center. Even more mysterious is that nobody really knows when the labyrinth was originally constructed. It may have been the 13th century, but no documents have ever been found to confirm this. There is also little known about who built it. Back in 2001, investigators claimed the center of the labyrinth was directly over a memorial tomb, though after a lot of digging, no bodies were ever found. Number 1. Stone Age Ritual Labyrinth. Recent excavations in Denmark have revealed a mysterious ancient labyrinth older than any other. It goes all the way back to the Stone Age, built in the Neolithic era anywhere between 5,000 and 4,000 years ago. Researchers discovered a series of ancient fences in an area about the size of 2 football fields. These fences were found one inside the other, looking like some kind of mysterious labyrinth. Because they are so old, it is difficult for researchers to really see what the pattern was, but the structure was clearly a type of maze. It had high walls and winding passages that would have made it easy to get lost while moving through it. Archaeologist Pernille Sloth told Science Nordic that whatever the structure was, it probably functioned as a very real labyrinth. However, he did admit that his team hasn't found any concrete evidence to say what was happening here. They found only flint tools, ancient human waste, ceramic fragments, and of course the ruins of the labyrinth walls. They believe it might have been some kind of gathering area. It could have been a place where Stone Age people were forced to find their way through the labyrinth to its core, where they then performed unknown rituals. Thanks for watching! What's your favorite weird or bizarre history fact? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next video. Bye!